radio tower. That's gotta be it. What are you doing all alone? Where are your parents?
I don't have any parents. And I don't know why I'm here. I just am.
She got you just like she got my baby.
Greetings.
Hi.
Former Dark Souls panel,
Oh yeah.
now Resident
We're back.
Evil panel.
We like the good games.
I'm really excited about this because I feel like we have a wide variety of perspectives here. We have Silent Hill,
Love it.
Silent Hill enthusiast,
Yeah, oh
first
yeah.
and foremost. Ben Moore, big fan, played single player Revelations. Brad Ellis and I played co-op.
I played exclusively co-op.
You play co-op.
Except for raid mode.
He played as the sidekick. So we're gonna dive into Revelations Part 1. Ben Moore, I want to start with you because you played single player.
Yeah.
How did that go? Because we all played
Revelations
multiplayer.
2, Episode 1.
Revelations 2, Episode
Yeah.
1.
Not Revelations 1.
Yeah.
Right.
Ben Moore,
Yeah.
let me hear it.
I like Revelations too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the first thing that needs to be said.
Oh yeah, Ben's sick by the way, everyone.
I'm very sick. If I sound a little weird or whatever, yeah, I'm just not. I'm not
man.
feeling up to snuff today. But yeah, what do you want to know specifically about?
I want to know
Revelations 2?
how switching back and forth between characters went, and if you ever felt like you were missing out on anything by playing single player.
No, I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything by playing single player because the side characters really do feel like assistants where, you know, once in a while they're very useful. Like Moira has a crowbar where she can open doors, and the little girl that Barry's running around with can point out enemies and things like that. But for the most part, the vast majority of the time, I wanted to be Claire, I wanted to be Barry because they have the guns, they're the ones that can really do the damage.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I would, every once in a great while I would switch, but I felt like it lent itself to that single player style very well.
Yeah, I'm starting to kind of think that way too. I mean, we had a blast playing it, but you were the supporting characters.
Yeah.
Tell us how that was.
It's definitely a step down in some ways, but when I was playing as Moira or whatever, the flashlight mechanic, I liked it. I felt like we were more as a team when we were those two characters.
Yeah, because I really relied on him shining the light and blinding him.
And the down stab.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the frustrating thing is Moira is just a lot more useful than the little girl is. She
Does
can just
anyone
do
know her
more
name?
things.
Natalia.
Natalia?
Yeah. The thing with
That seems
Natalia,
weird.
though, is like, I don't know how it works in single player, but like she can spot all the things. So like Omar and I were playing it, and he was like, okay, there are 3 guys in here, watch out for them, and I couldn't see it. Later in the game, it lets her point out like weak spots in those harder guys.
So
Which
that
was
I thought
cool,
was
yeah.
useful.
That was cool,
Pointing out
yeah.
the weak spots, yes, but actually just seeing the regular enemies that you fight wasn't that useful because.
Yeah.
But normally by the time that she would find them, I would already see them and I could just shoot
Yeah.
them. Like I never felt like it was vital that Natalia could see the enemies.
Oh, we saw him through walls. Like he'd always be like, there are 3 people in the next room, and I'd be like, okay, and then I'd come in like sneaky. Like the first half of the Barry campaign for us anyway felt like a stealth mission.
Yeah.
Because I was going in stealth killing guys and like.
There were parts when we did that, he would point them out, I would stealth them, but then by the time he would be like, there's someone over, just shoot
It's
it.
like, okay.
Because Barry starts so heavily armed, and a lot of the enemies aren't very strong, and so I just didn't feel like I needed to use that extra.
Dat Magnum.
It felt like
one shots like everything.
When you were playing as her, you weren't. I was literally doing nothing.
Yeah.
For like 40% of that.
I
Even
felt
more.
bad. I felt uncomfortable because he
The
was
only
not doing
cool
anything.
thing was the brick.
Yeah.
That was the only cool part.
Yeah.
And the brick was OP.
Because especially once you point out the weak points to the weird slimy guys, after he points it out, then he's a bystander.
I was standing
pretty
there
much.
just doing this.
Yeah.
The one thing that I thought, I mean, playing as Claire and Barry, I haven't played as Moira or Natalia, but like, I did like the parts where it would split off, where like Natalia would have to go through and like go down into the fire headroom and like open the door and stuff like that. Like I thought that was cool.
That's so cool. Our local co-op, that a little bit of that is lost. I remember in Resident Evil 5 when we played and you have to split up, you know, you do feel that sense of separation because you can just hear him on the voice chat. You can't see him.
But when you split up, you don't go far.
Yeah.
this game. You don't go
You're
far.
very limited.
anyway.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
It's like no big deal at all.
It doesn't want you to go far.
Yeah, I
but,
know.
like,
I understand that, but it didn't
don't
feel
know.
like I never felt like I was in danger.
Story wise, like I thought it was really cool because the way Claire and Moira wake up in this prison and then like escape it, Barry shows up trying to get into the prison, and then you go through, and I won't say like how it ends exactly, but like it's cool to see different sides of the same areas and things that you did as Claire and Moira affect Barry's playthrough. Like the flamethrower head is facing the one way, and like an item that I couldn't pick up as Claire and Moira, like I saw an upgrade kit behind one of those spinning things, and I was like, that's definitely a thing, and then I could get it as Barry. I missed one of the blue thing. I didn't know you were supposed to shoot it, but I saw it as Claire climbing up the ladder, and then as Barry I was like, oh crap, I should have shot that thing. But yeah.
Something that I thought was humorous is there are those chests that only either Natalia or Moira can open. And for Moira, it makes sense. It's like, okay, you need a crowbar to open this thing. With Natalia, it's like, you
Small
need
hand.
little fingers to
Yeah,
open this
that's
chest.
weird.
I thought it was-
Small
that
hand.
was funny.
It comes out every week. This is just the first week. There's 3 more
Every
weeks.
week or every 3 weeks?
Every week for the
Whoa,
next 3
that's
weeks.
Rad.
As a fan, I prefer boxed copies of games, and as a fan and with Telltale games, I like playing them all at once. I would have probably waited for the boxed copy, but after playing through episode 1, I'm really glad I did. It feels like a standalone package. Like as soon as we're done, it teases episode 2. I'm really looking forward to episode 2.
Talking about the tease, I think that's something that's so great about Revelations 2 is I actually found myself caring about the story.
Yeah.
I feel like it uses some of the past things in Resident Evil lore to great effect, but not so much so that you have a hard time following it if you aren't completely up to date with that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the way that it builds and how it ends is really enticing. Like the twist that they have at the end makes you immediately want to jump into episode 2.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Which I don't think, I won't say what it is, but I don't think it's true.
We'll find out.
What
Yeah.
the girl
Revelations.
says. I don't think
I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
Yeah, and just the nice touches, like they referenced Ouroboros from Resident Evil 5.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
And
You were
Yeah.
super
I,
bummed.
I started freaking out. I was like, yes!
I love how the little girl was like, Uber,
Yeah.
like she can't say it. It was really funny.
And then like some inside jokes for like long time fans, like Claire sandwich and whatnot. But
Oh man.
well,
there's some fan service.
That's something I liked about it that I haven't really gotten since like the PS1 version of Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2 to a certain extent. There's a campiness to Revelations 2 that it embraces. It doesn't try to distance itself from that, and it certainly doesn't take itself very seriously, which I like.
I think that's one of the game's actual like strengths
Yeah,
is that it's
absolutely.
like a budget game.
yeah.
And it doesn't feel like janky really to me.
No, it
Like,
feels great,
It
runs
feels really
great.
solid. Like the graphics aren't amazing, but they're not bad. Like people are saying that they were like, "Oh, PS2 graphics." I'm like, "Nah, they're fine." But like
They're not great.
they're not great, but who cares? Like the feel of this game is fantastic to me. And like I think that the fact that they didn't have a huge budget kind of helped that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It has that feeling. And like the first Claire and Moira we got through in 39 minutes, and I think Barry and Natalia we got through in 55 or something like that.
But then you
And I
unlock
played-
different modes,
Right, which seem impossible.
like invisible enemy
Invisible
mode,
enemy
and
mode,
then there's a
timer
time trial.
mode, yeah. And I'm just like, what? I'm probably not gonna do those, but who knows? But like the raid mode is cool too. It gets tough, but it feels a little. That's the complaint I have about this game though is that it feels very in-app purchasey. The raid mode.
Well, it's cool
Feels
because
kind of microtransaction-y.
it seemed a little pay to win because you can just buy machine guns outright for $1.
You can.
You can,
I
yeah,
didn't
you
know.
can buy
I don't like
weapons.
machine guns.
And
I don't
shotguns.
like automatic weapons.
You can
in
just
games.
buy. You can
I like
buy
precision shooting.
You can buy the majority of weapons. You can buy Wesker for $2.50, and that's
Which
when
of
I just
course you did,
lost
yeah.
my my
immediately.
sanity. I started freaking out. Hunk is free, so there's just this sense of commitment to fans of the franchise. I'm really feeling it. I never thought I would say that because Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil Revelations 1, I don't really care for. So I am surprised at how invested into this story I am. I did not think that was going to happen. It's really catching me off guard. I can't wait to finish it all. All I've been thinking about is
Yeah.
playing the rest of the episodes. I want to know how it ends. I want to know how it ties in to the greater Resident Evil whole.
Also, Gina can attack with gestures.
What?
It's really weird.
I haven't used her. Yeah, what do you guys think of raid mode? We'll close it out on that.
Red Blood's.
I wanted to talk about the skills actually.
Oh, the
skill
bizarre,
tree.
okay, a
Some of the-
bizarro skill tree?
Some of the skills are really weird because they're very tuned
Most of them
to
are
single
really
player.
weird.
Like the whole right
Yeah.
side is tuned to single player. So I'm like, okay, I'm never going to use these because Omar and I are playing it
We were
together.
talking about this. They give you bonuses for playing in not fun ways.
Yeah.
It's like switch your weapon. As soon as you switch your weapon, that weapon will be more powerful.
Yeah.
So are you telling me I'm going to have to keep switching my weapons
Which
back and
as
forth
Barry
to
might make sense, but as Claire, not at all.
Yeah.
Pistol all the time.
Bizarro?
Yeah, it's
Bizarre.
they're just not very practical skills. You know, it's not. It's not something that you can look forward to, and if you do get it, a lot of them, like you were saying, it's like, okay, I have to play in a very unorthodox way
Yeah.
to get the full benefit of this, which I didn't like at all. I mean, I appreciate that they're doing something different, but I don't think it's
Can you
very
explain why the most expensive ability in the game, it costs 1 million bonus points, is
It's 1 million?
Evade, I think it's or maybe
Oh,
100
evade
100,000.
cancels an action?
Evade cancels any action. I was like, why is that cool?
I think because when you
That
have
could
to
be- that
turn
could be
levers and
important,
stuff,
yeah.
you're locked in, and if someone is coming and you
That
back...
could be really good, yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
so...
Okay.
But yeah, raid mode seems really fun. Raid mode is a really long-lasting mode. It's for the long haul. Even episode 1, you buy it for $6. You can get through it in a couple hours at most. Raid mode will last you a very long time. You level up, obtain a bunch of weapons, bunch of different characters. Hunk is free, awesome.
Well, and the cool thing
In the
is
different
like
environments.
this is part 1, but raid mode is going to continue throughout the whole
Yeah.
thing. So it's like
Adding different environments and
that's
such.
yeah. Part 1 has really good functionality for $6. It's crazy.
So
Yeah.
everyone here likes Revelations 1, episode
Love it.
1.
A lot.
A lot,
love
a
it.
lot,
Yes,
a
yes.
lot, a lot.
I love
Hype.
the feel.
Yeah,
Gotta
feels
get back
good.
in.
So we all recommend it. There we go.